So here we are looking at the Capita Spring Break Tree Hunter. It's their Spring Break Powder series, and it's just one of my personal favorites and our crew's favorites when it's the deep, when it's super deep, and there's just, there aren't many boards that can float like this at this size. It's a 161, but it rides like it's a lot bigger of a board. It even stands up on a wall taller than a lot of other 161s, mainly because it's just flat to rocker, and then the rocker is kind of slow and mellow. It doesn't kink up like a lot of boards do. It goes down like this, so it planes really well over the snow and floats really well. You can also see it's considerably thick. It's a really thick board. It feels like the surfboard equivalent of a snowboard. It's got that, you know, foamy thickness, and it doesn't feel that heavy. You know, it might only be a few millimeters thicker than other, you know, other powder boards and other snowboards, but it just feels like it's so much thicker. Sorry the base is waxed, but it comes out a little orangey, but it's kind of a red. It's more red in person, so you know, just a little reddish orange, but more red. And it's got you know, a little die cut here, but no big deal. It will have some issues with repairing if you hit it right there on, and that's kind of in the flat part. But all in all, you know, nice, fast, smooth base. And yeah, this isn't your dynamic groomer carver like, let's say, the Kuro Puzzle, but it is just like superior float. It just, the way it floats, it kind of floats like this, but this whole area just seems to sit above, the whole board seems to sit on the snow while the tail does sink. It just feels like, you just never feel like you're that deep down and in it, and it's like a lot of boards, powder boards, like sink the tail really down and sit up, and you kind of feel like you're going through like this. This feels more like this. Some sit straight on top, like those little, you know, small short fatties with their, you know, they're almost like discs. They just like sit on top. But this sinks a little bit, but I mean, yeah, it's just amazing. But let's talk about a few things here. Like, you know, looking at the reference stance is 22, which is great. Set all the way back, it's like 22 3/4, which is really fun for me. Like 22 and a half, 22 to 23, I'm pretty comfortable with. But you know, let's talk about setback on board. I'm not even sure what the setback on side cut is, but you're looking at 23 and a half to the last insert right here. And then you kind of have this lunate tail thing going on here. Let's see here. You're looking at about 15, just about 15. So that's 8 and a half, almost 8 and a half. I'd say it's probably 8 1/4, which is really far set back on board. I mean, it's not like some boards. There are some boards that are just massively far back. You know, in terms of relation to side cut, probably not that far back, but relation to setback on board, super far back. So there you have it. I mean, this is just one of my favorite powder surfers, and when it's super deep, this is the board I get. I love this. I own it. I bought this thing, and it's my buddy when it's this deep as it can be. It goes in and out of trees fine. It's really good at turning for how wide the waist and the nose is. That tapered tail really helps you kind of surf through it. So there you have it. That's the Spring Break Tree Hunter.